Welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. The Spirecraft Showdown continues. I got a bit of a special challenge set forth for today. I looked around and I decided, you know what, definitely for sure what I want to do is knock out those final couple of Spire civilian leaders, and I did, in fact, verify they are the last two, Sindai and Ceres. But there's a little bit of a special way that we've got to go about this. And it took quite a bit of doing, planning out, trying different things, but I think I've got the solution. Now, over here in Europa, I have a couple of assault transports, and they're almost dead. I did some Tachyon Sentinels raiding to get them in here relatively intact. And I'm just going to move them down here while they're cloaked, out of the range of everything else. And the reason why I'm bothering with all this, well, first problems first. Let's take a look here in Ceres. And in here, I want to knock out that civilian leader. Problem is this. This is a gravitic command station, and it slows down everything in a wide range around it. You can see maximum ship speed is 32, which is, I think, what the lower level gravitational turrets slow everything down to. But 30,000 range is huge. And the problem is, of course, it's clustering all of its command posts, or guard posts, rather, around it. And so you can't approach it quickly from the side. I tried flying in raid starships, and yeah, they're just too slow. They couldn't get in range of the civilian outpost before they got blown up. So we've got to raid this in a little bit of a different way. And I do want to take it out. My goal here is to, and it's going to be really close whether I make it or not, but it's to get both of these taken care of before we hit 7 hours. And if I can do that, then we're down to, you know, all the civilian leaders being flipped over at that time, and we don't get any more plus from them. Now you can see we're like, this one's at 13%, this one's at 7%. Not a lot of health in there. So what I've got in this particular transport, and this is what I'm going to use here for a moment, is we have all of the Sentinel frigates and the scout starships. Okay, now that's tagging me, so I'm going to activate and knock it out. Boom. Okay. Now I want to cloak again. And nothing's coming after me. Of course, I was careful not to be active during any of these areas when I'm in the range. And I'm just waiting for the... I mean, we're going to get shot at by these, but who cares? There they go. They're off. And so I want to head over here because I'm eventually going to want to go into Sindai. And I want to use the cover of the assault transport to make this hit, so that we won't get detected over here later. Okay. Now we're going to deactivate again. And now it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to go in here, because as soon as I go through that wormhole, I'm going to lose the transport. Alright, now everything is out in here. Some of them fired off shots toward the Special Forces guard post. Some of them fired off shots over here. The only thing we care about is the civilian leader outpost. I could care less what happens in this system for the rest of the game. And we're getting deep striking threat. That's unavoidable here. Special Forces is gone. Doesn't need to be, but it is. And there's a force field generator in here. So we've got to eliminate everything, enough of that, rather, to knock this out. And they fire and fire and fire, and it's going to eventually wear it down. And while it's doing that, we can see we're losing metal. That's because we're building those Mark V bomber starships. But while it's doing that, I want to make sure that I get this transport, which again is fully cloaked, right over by that wormhole for when we come out. So that's important as well. You can see it's almost down enough, but you still got the circle around it, so it's still cloaked. There it goes. Okay, now that's gone. Let's check on where we're at. It's there, it's ready. So, all of my scouts, along with the Sentinel frigates, your work is done in here. As soon as they start coming out, they got to load in the transport, and I mean immediately, because there are snipers in this system, I believe. Yeah, okay, they do have, there's only one sniper. But nonetheless, I don't want to give that any opportunities. So I just sort of want to just say, all of you, get in there. And looks like we might have missed a couple there, possibly. Get in there. Don't think we lost any. Nope, 82 ships. That's what we want. We didn't lose any. That's important. So now we're going over to the Sindai wormhole to see what glorious fun things await us here. Now I'm going to do a similar routine in this location. Okay, so I've just unloaded everything here, and the reason for that is I want to keep the transport around to be able to shuttle the colony ship in when it is time, and I don't want it to get blown up before that. Send all of you in. And then I want to put the colony ship right back in the transport immediately. There we go. Now here is Sindai. Now unfortunately we've got a heavy bomber starship right on top of the wormhole. We're going to want to deal with that. But then also, we've got this over here, Ion Cannon Mark III, Special Forces Guard Post, of course, the Showdown device, one of the reasons that we're here. And then there's this whole big cluster. And this is going to cause us some problems. Interestingly enough, unlike my test runs, the AI decided to create a Mark III blade spawner, and that sucks. And because that's, you know, going to counteract some of my strategy here. But they have a plasma eye, and they've got a bunch of guard posts around. We have got an arachnid. They've got a munitions boosting. Well, that's the command station. They've got a couple implosion guard posts. They've got a bunch of spire shields. They've got a whole bunch of shields, some guns underneath it. And then the munitions guard post right there, or command station, doubles the attack of everything on the entire planet. And so attacking this, I mean, you can't outnumber them more than 2 to 1 or the plasma eye goes off. And how do you get through all those shields and double attack from all of the guard posts underneath it without outnumbering them? So this is a really, really good defensive situation. And the only way that I can think of to deal with it is this sort of long-range bombardment idea. Now, I want to make sure that all of my ships are going after the heavy bomber starship immediately. And then I want to gradually move away. You can't move away quickly because the scouts will get out in front. And the reason that's a problem is because they'll, you know, will get picked off by their snipers and whatnot. I'm sure they have some snipers around here. And I got 3 of them, which is not a huge amount, but I don't want to deal with them anyway. And let's just keep running away slowly. And why are you not attacking it? Meanwhile, the blades are coming after us. There they go. Now they're attacking it. That's better. And I want to be blowing this up and moving. I'll just stay right there. No, 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 no. You get over here and protect. No. They keep running away and not... Yeah, I just need to kill the stupid bomber starship is what I need to do. It's going to be gone, right? Okay, now we're going to totally regroup here. And we've lost some to the snipers and everything, but we've got 65 left. Make sure we're out of range of even these, and we are. So the next thing we want to do is take out that blade spawner, which unfortunately is under a whole bunch of shields. And they're going to attrition us down until we get it. And that's going to take a while. But we are knocking down the shields. And here comes a fighter. We're going to ignore that. If we get fortunate, maybe the blade spawner will come out and try to fight us. But if it's not dumb enough to do that, this could be interesting. I'll lose more ships. Yeah, we're down to 54. And it's still in there. There it comes. Beautiful. Now, just die, please. Okay. Now they'll shoot at whatever, which is what I want them to do, and they'll clear out all of this stuff. Okay. So, they're still gathering threat. They've got over 200. We've lost about a third of our attack force. But the good news is we've lost mostly the lower mark ones. And I don't really care as much about those. So how do we go about attacking this? Well, my initial idea was knock out the munitions booster command station, and then we can just set up in the system. There's a few problems with that. We don't want to just set up here because they'll just knock out the civilian leader. We want to capture that. And then if we knock out the command station, all their ships come after us. We blow up their ships. The plasma eye activates, and it starts pounding us. And, you know, we can't take out all of these guard posts from range because of their radar dampening. So I've got to get rid of the eye first. And, yeah, that's going to take a while. But let's see if we can pound away at it. Okay, now all their shots coming over this way towards the eye. And at a certain point, you just sort of trigger them, and all this stuff starts coming out. And I've got to be really careful here, because if you just click on empty space, my ships will start moving. I don't want to do that. But what I do want to do is just switch to targeting their units now. And now it's attacking some of their ships. See, now we've hit that a little bit. But for some reason, these don't like to target the shield guardians. And I very much want them to target the shield guardians before they get too close. Again, being very careful to make sure I click on the ship, not on empty space. And the third one. Okay. Now we're going to go back. It's sending a few things at us, but we're going to go back to the plasma eye. We're down to 51 ships. There might... You know what? Let's see if we can move one up there, and I think that's a little bit better coverage with the scouts. Oh, there's a Widow Guardian coming. We are knocking that thing down. We've got a few more ships coming. So this whole deal is going to continue. We're going to alternate back and forth. We can do a lot of that off screen because it's going to get kind of boring. But we're eventually going to knock this out. Whether we knock it out in time to take over the system before 7 hours hits, that's another thing coming. Now, our metal is going up. We're done building the Mark V heavy bomber starships, and I want to invest some of this. And the thing I want to invest it in is I'm just going to go around and put up lightning turrets everywhere because we just got the Mark V version of those. Okay, so the plasma eye is finally down to about 5%. But the bad news is I had to reload because of a crash. It actually went worse the second time. The main problem here is really the fact that that blade spawner showed up because it was back here. So we had to knock down the shield enough to trigger it. I think they come out when they're like exposed from the shield. They come out to attack. But that also meant that I had to trigger a lot more of them coming out. So they're down to 22 ships and they haven't reinforced in a while. So we're down to 32. But we couldn't really bring very many more ships in here to do this any faster. So the one time they rushed us, we couldn't kill them all in time, but that actually might have been a good thing because we still didn't trigger the eye. So I've got some ships waiting. I've got replacements waiting just outside Europa, but they can't come in until the eye is dead. So let's just go ahead and wrap that up. Final 100,000 out of 4 million health. Okay. There we go. Now we can finally target the command station. I can also bring in more of the Sentinels to make this go much faster from here on out. I hope. Alrighty then, here come the reinforcements. And I'm having them float off over this way. We're losing some of them. I think that's sniper fire or whatever. But I just want to get them all over here. Now, I only have the one scout, so that makes things a little iffy. Regardless of all of that, we're firing at the command station, but we're not actually hitting it yet. Make sure everybody's firing at it. We're knocking down these more. And again, there's not really anything else there's some more reinforcements. There's not really anything else that's of that much use to bring in because, and more. You know, these posts are good against flagships, and this is good against fleet ships. So it's a limited asset there. Are we knocking this down yet? We are not. You know what? I'm just going to hold on here a minute and make sure. I don't want to deal with that implosion guardian for very long. What in the world? How did that happen? Did they capture my scouts gone? Did they capture a bunch of my ships or something? I don't know what happened here. How many snipers? I don't even know because I don't have any scouts left. They've got... Yeah, they got like 3 snipers. Well, I've got another ship out here. I'm going to bring that in and see what happens. This is weird. They're going to get shot at by the ion cannons, but I don't care. Right now, I just want to get rid of all this stuff. Yeah, oh, it's a leech. A leech came in here. I bet a leech was triggered by the reservist deal, and then, okay, all of you attack the leech. Everybody attack the leech, first of all. Is it gone? No, it's just moved. It's going after these, which is not, but it's a Mark III. Just die already. Boy, it's going down, but it's taking its freaking sweet time. How we doing here? That looks vulnerable. Okay, let's see if we can kill it. There goes another post. It's going down. Okay, we should be able to kill it now, even though this has been a bloody disaster, this end part of it. There we go. Okay, so now at least they're dead. We've still got to knock out all this stuff. I think I want to bring in another ship of reinforcements with more Sentinel frigates and more scout starships to wrap this up. But yeah, that was not perfect, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that in time to take over the system. But you know what? First things first. Well, we're going to take over the system, not in time for the 7-hour mark. Pretty soon it became clear I had bigger problems to deal with, though. We got the vengeful reservist attack coming in here. Look at all these mines that are history. Literally, this entire run has been blown up. Coming in here. We got 284 ships there. We've got more coming in Adiona. Our activities in Sindai have really ticked off the vengeful AI. You can see a bunch of stuff has spawned here. Some decent... So I figured, you know what? It's probably a good time to build up additional defenses in this system and just make sure that we're fully ready. I may switch this around later. I'm just going to put up a couple of Mark II hardened. And then I'm just going to add more turrets in general. 10 more of these. And I've been overdue in bolstering the defenses up here. There's no reason why we can't get that done now. We're going to need to rebuild ships, and we're going to need engineer firepower in here to do that. But before we get that done, I've got to fend off what's happening here as it is. So we'll just max out. There we go. And I would imagine once that gets built, we should be okay. We're going to hang in here, though, and make sure. We're just going to see how bad these attacks get. And, we've got enough range to build these up. I could build more engineers to do this faster. That actually wouldn't hurt. Let's see, what do we have in here? Let's throw up a dozen Mark IIIs. And right now they're trying to rebuild these ships. And then they're trying to rebuild all of this stuff in between getting tagged. There we go. That'll help. And you know what? I think I'm going to rebuild you farther forward, because we don't have any extras, so let's do that. They'll hit these and we'll rebuild them, but it'll protect this part up there. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we have. More stuff incoming, and oh yeah, this is a nice, lovely brouhaha over here. 300 and some ships still coming. Bunch of high mark. Let's see, their attack, and most of it's coming here. There's still quite a bit of threat out there, but they shouldn't be generating. Now, they're not generating any more threat. And let's just move you up here. There we go. And then we can just slowly rebuild. Yeah, and they'll attack them again. That's fine. At least they're attacking those and not something further back and more vital. They've got some blades point. Yeah, 600 and some ships. Okay, a bunch of the threat emptying in here. So we're just gonna chill out and make sure everything is fine. So the Avengeful AI is really trying to throw its weight around here. And of course we're also seeing the cost of deep striking here. Look at all these verticular cutlasses, grenade launchers, attractor drones. Fun, fun, fun. Fun for the whole family. See, there's another 600 that can come if they want. And again, yeah, almost everything is happening here. We're not hearing any reports of other command stations under attack. And I really don't even care what's happening in Sindai at this point. Just chew them up. Looked like they were about to run away, then they stopped. They couldn't make up their mind. That's not a good thing to do, as much firepower as I've got going on here. $200 and some. The threat's down to 400. Again, we do have amounts attacking other places, but it doesn't look like they're going to do much good. See, lots of snipers. They're just constantly knocking these out. There's another -3, less AI progress. So yeah, they just keep pouring in. Looks like this threat is going to cleanse itself here. And as this keeps going, I get more and more worried that I'm not going to have enough counter-sniper turrets to go around. I'd like to have another one in here, but I'd have to take one out of another system, and I don't know if I dare. Then, of course, higher mark spider turrets would be huge, because we're strong here in anything that's within missile range, but nothing is within missile range at the moment. Except for those, yeah, those just came in enough. The flagship, we can't hit that because it's got radar dampening. There's some other places, threat going away. Okay, I think we can feel fairly confident in this, but that got a little dicey there for a minute. Okay, we just got back in here with our stuff, and you can see, yep, they still got their +1 from the Spire civilian leaders, which is unfortunate. Now, what I want to do here, because here's what's left. They've still got these, which are anti-big ships, and that's why I wanted to have a full complement of these. I could have tried to bring other ships in with them. But basically, I need to knock out the last of these. And you can shoot at these from that far? Oh, no. Not those. You hit the... Yeah. Move in on those. The radar dampening is going to cause us some problems. But we're going to pop in here. And the other thing is, I can finally bring in my stinking command ship, or colony ship, excuse me. There it is. That should be safe. Because again, all the wormhole guard posts are down. We'll move that over here. And then as soon as this stuff is gone, assuming our Sentinel frigates actually win this fight, then we can set up shop in here. And it's going to take a little bit of a journey over here, but I don't know that we have a particularly great alternative. We're cleaning up the last of that. They got themselves down to about 250 threat. 100 and some of that's in Adiona. Okay, now they're shooting at us. So let's pay a little more attention. We got to get in here close enough to whatever their radar dampening range is. 6,500. We got to be getting close. Come on. Get in there and kill them. There we go. Boom. Kill the next one. And boom. And the Arachnid Starship post can shoot at these, but boom nonetheless. And yeah, the 3 of those decided to donate to them another 40-some threat. How lovely. But they are now finished in here. I'm going to throw up my command station right over here. And before we're done for the day, I'm definitely going to see what they say about this next Showdown device. This is quite the doing. AI threw a nice little fit of us over us taking over Sindai, but they did not win the day. We eventually got through it. Alright, command station up and running. New civilian leader, -3 AI progress, takes us down to 145, floor of 83. So we're 62 above it, but we are going to see nothing but negatives from the civilian leaders. We have our ion cannon, more importantly, Showdown device, the 3rd one. And let's see what they have to say. Commander, looks like the trail of breadcrumbs ends here, but this may be all we need. Garbled can't stay any longer, might not make it. Once all 4 are connected, feedback loop will start. Will take time. The core will respond. Connection must be maintained. But when the grid actually shuts down, I don't know. We're not picking up any debris of the Doctor's ship, so it seems they at least made it into deep space. In any event, we think we have all the relevant information we're going to get about these Showdown devices. If we have control all 4 with command stations, they will connect and begin building up a feedback loop. During that charging phase, we can expect the AI to respond fiercely, of course. If we lose the command station on any of the device planets, the charging will be interrupted. Another attempt could be made, but we would be starting over. Okay, so we need to especially defend those once they come. Once the devices are fully charged, they will completely and permanently shut down the AI's warp grid. This should prevent it from sending any additional reinforcements to our galaxy. What it will do once that happens, we do not know. Perhaps it is best not to find out. Or perhaps it is best to try. Okay. So I don't know how this will work. Assuming we get through the Showdown period, I don't know how it'll work. I mean, assuming that we have to take down the homeworlds also at that point. But if they can't send anything in from another galaxy, that would mean we'd be fighting the homeworlds with no exogalactic wave threats coming from them, which is a big, big part of their strength. We would have an unlimited time, basically, to deal with them. If there's no reinforcements coming in, then we would just have to deal with, you know, presumably their strategic reserve would still be around, but no reinforcements to any of the planets. I mean, that really would be decisive. When next we return, we will definitely be moving further towards that. I didn't get as far as I intended to here, but you know, they were really resistant. We've still got to plot our way through all of this. We want to get the rest of the turrets that we can get to prepare and hopefully work down that AI progress a little bit. Again, it's probably going to go up before it goes down, but and I don't know. I mean, I may even want to wait for the civilian leaders to drop down the AI to the floor before I pull this trigger. I probably do. We're going to be looking at another hour, hour and a half. We're going to get another CPA, and then over here in Friend Commuter, at least, we have this triggered, and that's probably about half an hour away. We'll want to deal with that soon. I think there's another one here in, yep, there's one in Varuna, and I don't know where that's at. Okay, that's about halfway there now. So we're definitely going to want to do some of that. We're going to want to be clearing that out. Lots of work yet to do. And they're plowing into Melpomene once more. I'm sure we'll hold them off, but they just, yeah, they don't like you blowing up their stuff. The Vengeful AI is making that abundantly clear. So all that coming up next time, but till then, thanks for watching. We're hurtling towards the Spirecraft Showdown. I got a feeling it's going to be here soon.